Crimes You Didn't Know Were Committed by Your Favorite Celebrities, Part 1. And we are going to be talking about Johnathan, aka Johnny Lewis. If you don't know who Johnny Lewis is, he is, in my opinion, best known for his role as Half-Sack in the hit TV show Sons of Anarchy. But he has also starred in lots of other hit TV shows during his life like Criminal Minds, OC, Drake and Josh, Malcolm in the Middle. And despite living in Hollywood and even once dating Katy Perry, everyone says that he was not interested in the fast life. His friend Johnathan Tucker said that that's what made Johnny special. No drugs, no alcohol, just poetry and philosophy. However, in 2009, he left his 2-season stretch on Sons of Anarchy, claiming that the storylines had gotten too violent and that after finding out that his current girlfriend was pregnant with their child, he wanted to focus on writing a novel. And in 2010, after the birth of their daughter, his relationship with the mother of his child ultimately fell apart. And Johnny ultimately found himself on the losing side of a custody battle. In 2011, Johnny crashed his motorcycle, and while doctors said that there were no signs of a concussion, Johnny's family say that they believe that his behavior began to change after the motorcycle accident. He refused MRIs, but he also slipped into a very odd British accent. And in 2012, Johnny displayed his very first acts of violence by breaking into the condo next door to his parents and then assaulting 2 men with an empty Perrier bottle after they confronted him and asked him to leave. He was charged with trespassing, burglary, and assault with a deadly weapon and was sent to Twin Towers Jail. While in jail, Johnny smashed his head into the concrete and even tried to jump from 2 stories high. That caused him to then be sent to a psychiatric hospital where he was then held on a 72-hour involuntary hold. Over the next 2 months, he went on to make many more attempts on his life, became hypersensitive to light, disabled his parents' fuse box at their home, punched a man outside of a yogurt shop, walked into the ocean fully clothed, and attempted to break into a woman's apartment. After the attempted break-in, Johnny's probation officer noted that he was extremely concerned not only for the well-being and the safety of the defendant Johnny, but also for the community, and he even went on to say that Johnny would continue to be a threat to any community that he would reside in. Johnny's friend Tucker said that Johnny was a completely different person at that time, and that Johnny actually had a look on his face that his friend Tucker had only seen in the faces of disturbed war veterans. He said that Johnny's memory was shattered and that he would bounce back and forth between lucid conversation and just blatant incoherence. Over the summer, Johnny spent time at Ridgeview Ranch, which is a facility that offers treatment for drug abuse and psychosis. He was then prescribed medication for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. A journal entry written by Johnny, July 2012 read, "I felt more whole today. More complete, like parts of myself had been stolen and scattered all over the world and they are just now beginning to return." And in autumn, Johnny was sentenced to a year in jail but only spent about 6 weeks behind bars due to overcrowding. His father then arranged for him to stay at the Writers Villa, which is a residence for up-and-coming creatives and also a place that Johnny had previously stayed at in 2009. And then September 26, 2012, only 5 days after being released from jail, Johnny became agitated. It is unclear what for sure set Johnny off, but his friends speculate that his victim may have confronted him about once again disabling his parents' fuse box. Johnny ambushed his victim, Kathy Davis, inside of her own bedroom, where he strangled and beat her to the point of unaliving, only to then chase her cat into the bathroom where it unfortunately met the same fate. The coroner noted that Johnny had fractured Kathy's entire skull and obliterated the entire left side of her face, that he had actually left brain exposed, and that there had been brain matter all over the floor around where she was found. After the attack, Johnny then approached another neighbor, Dan Blackburn, assaulted his house painter, assaulted Dan, and then chased both of them as well as Dan's wife back into the house. And then Johnny returned to the Writers Villa where he proceeded to jump 15 feet to his death. Speculation surrounding the whole situation consisted of people assuming that Johnny must have been on some sort of mind-altering drugs. However, autopsy reports showed that there were no signs of drugs in his system. And many people close to Johnny actually said that they were not surprised by the turn of events. It was a tragic end for an extremely talented guy who unfortunately lost his way. I wish I could say that I was surprised by the events that happened last night, but I unfortunately am not. That was a statement written the day after the attack by Sons of Anarchy creator Kurt Sutter. He went on to say that he was deeply sorry that an innocent life had to be thrown in Johnny's destructive path. Johnny's lawyers, Johnathan Mandel, put out a statement that his defendant had lots of problems. He went on to say that he recommended treatment for Johnny, but that Johnny declined it. He said that his client unfortunately suffered from psychosis and that it very clearly clouded his judgment. And many people lay blame on Johnny's parents, considering the fact that they are Scientologists, a religion notoriously known for not allowing its members to receive psychiatric treatment. However, attorneys went on to say that they give his parents a lot of credit, saying that they were really strong in trying to help him out and that they really went to bat for him, but obviously they just could not do enough. So, did you know about this?